स्वामिन् नमस्ते नतलोकबन्धो कारुण्यसिन्धो पतितं भवाब्धौ मामुद्धरात्मीयकटाक्षदृष्ट्या ऋज्व्यातिकारुण्य सुधाभिवृष्ट्या स्वामिन् नमस्ते स्वामिन् नमस्ते स्वामिन् नमस्ते स्वामिन् नमस्ते। यत्कीर्तनं यत्स्मरणं यदीक्षणं यद्वन्दनं यत्श्रवणं यदर्हणं लोकस्य सद्यो विधुनोति कल्मषं तस्मै सुभद्रश्रवसे नमो नमः। विचक्षणाय चरणोपसादनात् सङ्गं व्युदस्योभयतो अन्तरात्मनः विन्दन्ति हि ब्रह्मगतिं गतक्लमाः तस्मै सुभद्रश्रवसे नमो नमः। तस्मै सुभद्रश्रवसे नमो नमः। तस्मै सुभद्रश्रवसे नमो नमः। जय गुरु, जय गुरु, जय गुरु. Really speaking, whatever title has been given, and about the knowledge also, 3 days are very insufficient. Whatever I want to say will not be complete, even if I talk years and years and years. But one thing I can tell you, that I always feel that whatever we hear, the very beautiful concepts which are there in our scriptures and what our gurus say, we must understand how to relate it to our daily life. How we can, in the midst of all activities, in the midst of remaining in the family, bringing up children, remaining engaged in our profession, how we can still implement those messages or the knowledge that we get and slowly progress towards the aim which the messages tell us. So what is the aim? The aim is to understand. If you talk devotionally, to know God, to understand that God is everywhere, in every time, in everything surrounding us. And if you talk in the Vedantic manner, it is to know that I am the self which is changeless. And again I will repeat that whether you pursue it devotionally or spiritually, you talk of God, if you want that to be your pursuit, and you feel comfortable to feel that there is an invisible God which you give a form and you like to worship. But you must understand that God is all-pervading and everywhere and is in our heart also. That is, He is one without a second. So whether we call it God or Brahman or the self, it is the same, and we have to see this. The aim is to know God or the self and understand that I am that changeless self. I am not this body which changes with time, and we are aware of it. And I am not the mind, the intelligence which all change. In fact, I am the changeless soul, which if we sit quietly and we look into ourselves, we can feel the presence. And we always feel a presence. And we know that because of that presence, we are actually experiencing the changes in the body. There is a observer, a knower, who knows that the body has changed, the mind has changed over the years, the intelligence has changed over the years, and that knower, which is knowing, has not changed. It is something like, suppose there is a clock, and the clock has two hands which are moving. There is a base where 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 12 is written. Because the base is fixed, we can understand the rotation of the two hands and we can understand the time. Suppose the base was also moving and the hands were also moving, that is, that positions were changing, then can we understand what change is coming and when? So the substratum, the soul within us, is changeless. And that changeless I, which is imperishable, which is eternal, which is unaffected, which is fearless, that is able to understand all the changes which is taking place. And since that is our real identity, if we understand that and we always remain steady in that understanding, that is, we hold on to that, the word which is used is self-seatedness. That is, always we sit there and not on things which is transitory and changing. So we are sitting on something or holding on to something which is changeless. Suppose there is a big storm and we are near a tree. We get very afraid and we climb the tree and we hold on to a branch. With the storm, the branches will be moving, the leaves will go here and there, and we'll be afraid. Suppose instead of doing that, we could hold on to the trunk of the tree. We will not understand the severity of the storm. So whatever is changeless, we should try to hold on to it. And actually, I'm saying we should hold on to it. We are that. Only thing, we do not understand it and we forget it. So what is the aim? Somebody asked, what is the aim of life? The aim is to constantly remind ourselves that I am the changeless one. I am the changeless one. So affectation comes by some situation, by behavior of some people, or talk of somebody, or maybe in the profession, what you want, you did not get. So there will be constantly changes in the life. And those changes affect us. We feel sorrowful, sometimes miserable. Sometimes we are very happy also when the changes are good and we get delighted. So whether it is delight or not, we should constantly remind ourselves that we are the changeless one. So there need not be any affectation in us. So there is a sloka by Shankaracharya, in Vivekachudamani it is there, that tells the whole thing in 4 lines. What are we? What is our real identity? It is described. It says, Akashavallapa viduragoham. I am like the sky. I am like the sky and I am taintless. So we are constantly getting tainted. Tainted by what? Tainted by the world. Tainted by the world situations. But when we get affected, we must remember that actually, in essence, I am not tainted. So as soon as there is something which has affected us, we should remember that, no, this is happening to my mind, my intelligence. In essence, I am taintless. Suppose I draw a line on earth, there will be a line drawn. Suppose I draw a line with my finger on water. As the finger goes, there will be a division in the water, but as the finger goes behind, the mark will be gone. Suppose I mark here in air. Is there any mark? No. So I'm like that space. My real identity is like that. Since I do not remember it, whenever some situation happens, I forget that I'm like that and I get into trouble. I get disappointed, I get despondent, I feel miserable and I suffer. Or if something very good has happened, I'm so elated. We forget that this so much elation will not remain. After some time, it will be over. So, Akashavallape viduragoham. Then, Adityavad bhasya vilakshanoham. I'm like the sun, and sun gives light to everything. We sleep at night, and we all look forward to the next day when there will be light. In darkness, we can do nothing. And in this darkness that I'm talking about, we do not like at all. What is the sun? Sun is bringing about light. And as long as sun is there, everything is, I think you need not look there. Look at me. So as long as the sun is there, everything is bright. Similarly is my real identity. It is ever lighted. There is no darkness in us because there is ever lightedness. Antarjyotihi. It is that jyotihi which never gets dimmed. So I am that. So how can darkness be there? One day I was, maybe the mind was a little not very cheerful, and it was evening, the darkness set in, and I was near the window and looking outside. And I felt that looking at the darkness, I felt, oh, see, just now there was light, and now the whole atmosphere has become dark. So this darkness and the light, it comes and goes. Similarly, in the mind also, the darkness comes and goes. It doesn't stay. But just like the nature brings about darkness and light, the sun rises and sun sets, in the mind also it is happening. But the real I, which is understanding that it is becoming dark and it is becoming lighted, that is the same. Unless that knower was there to know, and the knower has to be stable, steady, and that is the substratum. That is why we are understanding the coming of darkness and coming of the light. So, you should be very, very introspective. Yesterday I was telling you that at any time you can introspect. There are many times when we introspect on wrong things, unnecessary things, and which will not give us any kind of enlightenment. But even looking at the simple things, you must feel that, oh, this is how it is related to the knowledge. Just see, looking outside into the darkness, so much I thought. Similarly, your minds also should get into that kind of introspection. Say a flower. Say every day flower is there, light is lit. When we look at the lamp, we are seeing that lamp is being lit. Some days you will find the flame is so steady. So we just see it and we do a pranam and come away. But you can further think, what is that? Oh, the flame is so steady. Let my mind also become that kind of steady, stable. And in our scriptures, how it has been explained. It says that samyak alokanat satyat vasana praviliyate vasana vilaye chetaha shamyat yasneha deepavat. Samyak alokanat satyat. When you dwell on the truth, the spiritual truth, What is the spiritual truth? All that I am saying. I am not the body. I am the changeless soul. That is my real identity. So hit in yourself many times of the day, whenever you remember. Sometimes you may not remember even for 2 days, but make a habit of remembering, then it will become yours. Then the remembrance you will not have to do with effort. It will come automatically. Your first identity will be, I am the soul. So, samyak alokanat satyat. So this dwelling on the truth has to be samyak. That is, every time, whatever you see through your senses, whatever you see or perceive, you think of the self. Vasana praviliyate. So what will happen when you get into the habit of considering the truth? Many of the things which are unnecessary, and what is unnecessary? Many desires are unnecessary. We keep on thinking of this I must have, this I had, this I have lost, this I must acquire. If I do this, I will be very, very happy. Or if, why did I not do this? So I'm suffering. All those thoughts, the past has got over. And the future, we do not know. Even if we plan whether it will be according to our plan, we don't know. So remove those thoughts. And even if those thoughts come, in between think that I am the self, I am the self. It's no use thinking of past and future. Let me feel that at present that I am this changeless self. So vasana praviliyate. The desires fall off. Desires don't get any importance. It is understood that all desires are transitory. Even if it gets fulfilled, it will not stay forever. And if it doesn't get fulfilled, the agitation that it gives to the mind or the disappointed that it gives to the mind is not good for us. So that kind of introspection. So vasana praviliyate. Vasana vilaye chetaha. When the vasanas go away, desires go off. Then what happens? Shamyatyasneha deepavat. Shamyati asneha deepavat. Deepa means what? Deepam. And deepavat means like the deepam. Asneha. Sneha means generally love. Sneha is also oil or fuel in Sanskrit. Asneha means without fuel. Shamyati means extinguished. So what happens to a deepam? We have lit. See, they have put oil, they have lit the lamp, and after some time, the oil will be over. When the oil gets over, what happens? The lamp gets extinguished. And however much you sit there waiting for it to get again, it will not happen. You have to pour the fuel again. So, when there is no fuel in the lamp, as the light gets extinguished completely, similarly, when desires which agitate the mind, disturb the mind, when we are able to get rid of them, the mind will become calm. Now you can say, if there is no desire, how will I work? What can I do? I have to run my family. I have to look after my children. Yes, whatever is necessary, you must do. Whatever is necessary, you must do. But you must have an discrimination that you are not desiring whatever is not necessary. And as you try to do this, make effort to understand, make effort to constantly dwell in the thought of the self which is changeless, you will find the buddhi, the intelligence will become sharper and sharper to make you understand what is necessary and what is a desire. You get it? There are certain things definitely necessary. You cannot say that, oh, even to go and buy food and take food, is it a desire? Is it a desire to buy a house and stay there? Or is it a desire to have this comfort or that? Yes, minimum comfort definitely we should have. You should see that such desires do not agitate you, which you can very easily not have. You are having enough, and that is enough. But there are many things, the human mind is like this. Maybe such desires will never be fulfilled. Still, we will be constantly thinking that, oh, suppose I had it, suppose I had it. We do not waste our time thinking, oh, suppose I could have been a little taller, or suppose I could have been a little fairer, or suppose I had become a little beautiful. Do we do that? Or suppose my parents were like this, my brother looked like this. We don't waste our time in that. But there are certain things we feel that we can acquire, we definitely can, and you do all effort, you make all effort to do it, but you're coming constantly, being embraced by the self, embraced by God, embraced by the thought of Brahman or self, that feeling that I am, my real identity is this, I am changeless, changeless. There is no taint in me. There is always a light inside me which shows me the right path. You will find that intelligence will be so sharp, you will understand what is correct, what is not, but how much you should do and how much you should not. And the maximum is that we should not be having that kind of possessiveness and clinging for anything. We make effort, but suppose we don't get, leave it, let go, let go. So that is everyday renouncement. We sannyasis, we renounce. But every human being should be able to renounce. Renounce what? Renounce in their day-to-day life, the opinions, the ideas, the outlooks which are binding them, which are giving them the clinging to certain things by which they suffer. Whatever gives you suffering, you should be able to understand that it is giving me suffering and I should let it go. So, Akashavallaepa viduragoham adityavad bhasya vilakshanoham. I am that where I am already always lighted. I have that jyoti inside me. And aharyavat nitya vinishchaloham. I am like that mountain which cannot be moved at all. The mountains, however much we go, say the other day our people were sent to see the Batu caves. You all go, must be going. Go and move it. We won't be able to. Why a mountain? A very heavy Almirah also will not be able to move. So it's example is being given of a mountain. We cannot move it. So I am that. My nature is this. The real identity is that, which cannot be moved by anything. Nothing. That is what, whether it is by any person, whether it is any situation, whether it is any place, whether it is somebody's behavior, speech, our own desires which are unfulfilled, I am not moved. Any adversity, I am not moved. And the last is ambodhivat para vivarjitoham. Like the ocean, we cannot see the shore. Unbounded it is. Our mind should be like this. Our mind is not like that. Our mind is constricted first of all to one's own body, mind, intelligence. The I am feeling that I am this. And my family, my qualifications, acquisitions, property, prestige, name, fame, what we feel, mine. That the I-ness and the mindness. By that we are bound and we remain constricted. So when we, through this spirituality, what is being told is that expand your mind. We should be like the ocean, unbounded, unbounded love for everybody, unconditioned love for everybody. Our love is not unconditioned. Even for temple goers, those who go and do puja to the temple, what do we go and pray for? We give puja. And what do we say? That I have given you this much puja, Udayastamana puja, or this. And we say that our family should be all right. My daughter should get married. My son should get a very good job. Or I am wanting to have a bigger house, so that should come in. I have a case, I should win. So it is not unconditional. It is on condition that we go and pray. Very few are there who will go and say, actually our love for God should be, oh God, because I love you, so I want to see you. Because I love you, now I am seeing you only in your idol. I want to see you in everything, everywhere. Prahlada told his classmates that this is the only thing that people should try to do is ekanta bhaktir govinde yat sarvatra tadikshanam. That is, have ananya bhakti, one-pointed bhakti towards God. And yat sarvatra tadikshanam. And that you are everywhere, you are there in everybody's heart. Only the forms are different. See, may I see that. May I understand that. And when we understand that, what do? We do pranam. We cannot do it. We go to the temple and we have to stand in front of the deity and then only we will do pranam, right? If somebody says there is a lot of crowd in front, you can go to the back door and from there you see the temple. That also will not agree. We have to go in front and see the deity's face and do pranam. Then only we'll be satisfied. But the deity has been taken from a stone, a sculpture has been made, then it has been put with a lot of rituals. Kumbhabhishekam has been done. And then we feel it is the deity. Actually, this whole world is the idol of God. That is what we have to understand. And when we understand that, and will we understand just in 1 second? Just by say, today I said, maybe you have heard it earlier also. But do we understand and can we get stabilized in that understanding? We have to remember it, remember it, remember it. So, Akashavallepa vidura goham, Adityavad bhasya vilakshanoham, Adityavad aharyavad nitya vinischaloham, and Ambodhivat para vivarjitoham. That is what our real identity is. And you know, there are so many shlokas, Shankaracharya. This is also Shankaracharya's. So many shlokas are there. These shlokas, it gives us lot of, inspiration, enthusiasm to be dwelling in this thought. Sitting alone, and what will you think? So if you hear these, that is what these days you can hear over and over again in YouTube or maybe some bhajans or something. So spend time in that. See, I'll stand 1 or 2 shlokas which Shankaracharya has given. Sits asāṅgoḥam, asāṅgoḥam, asāṅgoḥam punah punah Satchidanandarupoham ahamevāhamavyayaha nitya shuddha vimuktoham nirakarohamavyayaha bhumanandaswarupoham ahamevāhamavyayaha nityoham niravadyoham nirakarohamachyutaha Paramanandarupoham ahamevāhamavyayaha Shuddha Chaitanya Rupoham Atma Ramohamevacha Akhandanandarupoham ahamevāhamavyayaha. This is from Brahmajnanavali by Shankaracharya. There are many other slokas. See what he says. I don't know what effect it creates in you, but when I came across these slokas, and even now, when I chant this, understand the meaning when you are chanting. What does it say? Asanggoham, asanggoham, asanggoham punah punah. What is our problem? I just now said, I-ness and mine-ness. We get attached to everything. All that we feel is mine, we get attached. We cling. And because of that, we get bound. We are not able to feel liberated. We always feel what will happen, what will not happen. And constantly our thoughts will be on that. So, Krishna also says, do not have sangha. Yesterday I explained that Krishna says, Mukta Sangha Samachara. If you work, you do not have sangha with the work, or the process of the work, or the result of the work. Result will come. Whatever result comes, do your best, samachara, do your best. Be excellent in your work. So whatever outcome will come, take it with samatva. It may be according to your idea, or according to your wish, according to what you have planned, or it may not be. So this is what Krishna is telling. And that sangha, that we constantly get attached. We are attached to what? We are attached to our body, first of all, mind, intelligence. Body, definitely. We want the body to be healthy, nourished. That is very good. We should look after our body. Unless we look after our body properly, we won't be able to do even a pursuit. Even the spiritual pursuit, we won't be able to do. Leave aside a spiritual pursuit, we will not be able to work even, earn even. So body has to looked after. But we cannot be, possessive about that, clinging about that. That is spending all the time in looking after the body, and which will be anyway, will become old and will perish. So do whatever to be done in a moderated manner, and find out times in which you can introspect more and more. And this one, what is saying? Asanggoham, asanggoham. So the body, mind, intelligence. The mind, we develop lot of ego, lot of clinging, lot of possessiveness about our mind. We feel that we are very good, we have got these qualities, and we are these kind of, the decisions that we make are very good. So the mind and intelligence, we are very proud about. We feel that what I think is very good, it is sometimes even better than others. So this is how we cling to our ideas and decisions. So he says that totally yourself, the Atma that you are, it is asanga. It has no clinging. So when you will find that clinging and possessiveness is giving you suffering, you take to this song where you sing, I am asanga, I am asanga, I am asanga. I do not have any attachment. Unattached am I. Unattached am I. Ever free from attachment of any kind. You will find, my dear children, introspection is very, very essential. That is, thinking deeply. Think deeply. Whether we are all in families, you all are in families, you have your jobs, some of you may have retired, but just for the living, we are constantly doing some work or other. And we all know that we are not fulfilled. Constantly there is a feeling of anxiety, fear, and a feeling of insecurity sometimes, and also a feeling of void. Every time something nice happens and delights us, it is over. Then we look forward to something else to happen. somebody's birthday party, somebody's marriage party, or some sightseeing party, or some get together. So we are constantly looking forward to all that. That is all external. Know that there is a fountain of joy which is not dependent on anything. It is there inside you. And there you can sing the song and remember. Remind yourself that this is me, this is me, this is me. Otherwise, who will sing this song? Nobody teaches us in our schools, colleges. See, these scriptures are so old, but they don't teach us in our schools, colleges, university. Even our parents have not. So we are blessed enough that we are listening to this. This is the song of our soul. What is the song? Asāṅgoḥam, asāṅgoḥam, asāṅgoḥam punah punah. Unattached am I, unattached am I, ever free from attachment of any kind. It may be family, it may be food, it may be dress, it may be some gadgets that you want to buy, some house that you want to buy, it may be your thoughts, your ideas, your opinions, all that. Then it says, Satchidananda Rupoham. I am of the nature of Satchidananda, existence, consciousness, and bliss. I am the very self, indestructible, avyayaha, and ever unchanging. I am ever unchanging. I don't change. And because I don't change, I can see all the changes. Nitya Shuddha Vimuktoham Nirakaroham Avyayaha Bhumananda Swarupoham Ahamevaham Avyayaha Nitya Shuddha Vimuktoham. See, you can just write this on the walls, which will constantly tell you what? I am the eternal, Nitya. Eternal means what? There is no change. It does not decay. I am that. I do not change. Essentially, I don't change. I feel that there is a change because I identify it with the changeful body. But if I constantly make a habit of identifying with the unchanging soul, I will always feel this. I am eternal. Shuddha is I am pure. And Vimuktoham, I am ever liberated. We don't feel we are liberated. We don't feel. That is why we have so many questions, so many doubts. How will I do? How will I progress? Why is it that I am not happy? Or why is it that I sometimes feel disappointed? I sometimes feel irritated. Sometimes feel I'm very insecure. So these questions are constantly coming in the mind. What will make me feel that I don't want anything? I have now got that yam labdhva chaparam labham manyate nadhikam tatha. I have reached that state where I do not want anything more. Nothing is there superior because I have gone to that state. So, Nitya Shuddha Vimuktoham. I am ever liberated. Nirakaroham Avyayaha. And I am formless. Though there are so many forms, actually it is the form over the same consciousness. As I was giving the example of light, fan, camera, AC, everything that is working on electricity, there are forms, different, even the lights. One light, one is a tube light, one is a small light, one is a big light, one may be a transistor, there is a TV running. All are because of electricity. So that is the common thread, but the forms are different. So actually it is formless, indestructible. I am avyayaha, indestructible and changeless. And Bhumananda, our Swamiji's name is Bhumananda. So it comes here. Yo vai bhuma tat sukham. alpe sukham nasti. This comes in the Upanishads. Yo vai bhuma tat sukham. The one which is unbounded, expanded, that is happiness. Alpe sukham nasti. Whatever is small, narrow, there cannot be any happiness. And our mind is what? Small and narrow. So, Bhuma means one whose mind is absolutely expanded. Bhumananda Swarupoham. My real identity is that we are all Bhumananda. We are all Satchidananda. We are all Nityananda, Vimuktananda. We are all that. But we forget. We don't look into ourselves. Not only that, we don't give time and dwell on this. Is it not? How much time do we give? Maybe maximum 1 hour in the morning, half an hour in the evening. That too while we sit for meditation, constantly thinking, when can I get up? When will it be over? And then I'll go and do something, telephone somebody and have a chit-chat. How long are we going? How much time are we giving? Whatever we like, we want to give time for it. Say when a child is born, the mother forgets everything. Whole time is given to the child to bring the child up. So if this is a small child-like thought in your mind which you want to grow now, you have to pour water, give manure, give time, give effort, and what you should do? With love. With love, not because of compulsion or pressure. I don't know whether you get anything, whether it is just listening, whether you will do it. Do you feel at least this moment that, oh, I can do it? Yes, I have always, when I was in the household and would go to Swamiji's Satsang, I would feel, oh, it can be done. I would always feel that it can be done. Even in the ashram, I would tell Swamiji, because I told you yesterday that when I went to the ashram, a lot of domestic work came upon me. Domestic work. I mean, people would go to the ashram thinking that a lot of meditation, a lot of listening, everything will be done throughout the day, only domestic work. And Swamiji was engaged in movements at that time. So he would be discussing the movement matters, all in Malayalam, which we could not understand. But we were generally a little fighting type also, when something is going wrong. So we also want to set it right. So understanding that, Swamiji would also tell us in English and ask us to find out from Constitution some, acts and whether it is there in the Constitution that can we say like this, can we say like this, etc. So it was like not actually going, discussing scriptures and all. So the whole day was domestic work. And I used to tell Swamiji that in so much of domestic activities, how to think of God? Is it possible to think of God? So he would say, why not? Definitely. And it's not that Swamiji was only talking of movement. In many ways, that is why it said that if you are in the proximity of the Guru, through many things you learn. So he told me one day that, see, the Gopikas, they were doing the most mundane household work, but they always thought of Krishna. So why can you not do it? So what do the Gopikas do? The Gopikas get up in the morning. I'll tell the sloka. Yadohane ऽवहनने मथनोपलेप प्रेङ्खेङ्खनार् भरुदितोक्षण मार्जनादौ गायन्ति चैनमनुरक्तधियोश्रुकण्ठ्यो धन्या व्रजस्त्रिय उरुक्रमचित्तयानाः यादोहने ऽवहनने मथनोपलेप प्रेङ्खेङ्खनार्भरुदितोक्षण मार्जनादौ. So these Gopikas, they are very rustic village ladies. And everybody has cows in the house. So their day starts very early in the morning. They'll get up in the morning. They will sweep the courtyard. Then they will smear cow dung. And they will then milk the cows. And pots of milk they will keep for boiling. The milk of the previous day, which has been curdled, will be then churned to take out butter. While she is doing all that, the children sometimes get up from sleep. So she will run to the cradle and then cradle the children and make them quiet again and come back to the work. So Swamiji said that what kind of work are they doing? They are doing the same things that you are doing. So in our ashram also at that time there were many cows. And morning liters of milk had to be boiled. Big vessels which I have not handled so far. So Swamiji said, if doing that work, they could sing the name of Krishna, Gayanti Chaina Manurakta Dhiyoh. They used to sing the name of Krishna, Anurakta Dhiyah. This is the word. They were in love. They had anuraga, love for Krishna. Their whole mind, buddhi was filled with love for Krishna. Ashrukantyo. And while singing, their voice would choke. They were like that. So if they could do it, we say that we are doing work, how can we think of God? If they can do it, why are they able to do it actually? Because of the love. That mother's example, the mother must be maybe doing many things, but the mother's mind, the child's thought will be there. Because of the love for God, love for Krishna, whatever they do, it is with the thought of God. Gayanti Chaina Manurakta Dhiyoshru Kantyo Dhanya Vrajastriya. So the wise people, here the Vedavyasa who has written the Bhagavatam, he says they are the Dhanyas. Urukrama Chittayana. They are the devotees of Sri Krishna, and this is their life. They never forget whatever they do. So that became, see, this is what I was always, if I heard, whether I read or heard, I would feel that I also should be doing it. Which is not easy to do because we are not practiced. We have not practiced. We have practiced or we have not been told how to practice right from beginning. That is why we have grown like this. While doing one work, we will think of 100 other things. And while doing something which we don't like, constantly thinking that when to finish this and go to what I like. That is, what I like, I want to do. What I do not like, I want to somehow do. So, this became my sadhana. That, well, I'm doing everything, and it was a great delight, and I always felt a blessedness that as soon as I went to the ashram, I got the job of the service around Swamiji's work, cooking for him, looking after his dress, dyeing his dresses. I was not a sannyasi at that time. And looking up, then I understood that it doesn't stop there. You may feel very delight. And with that delight, the thought comes, I am very, privileged. So many people are there, but I am the one who have been chosen to do this work so near and helping him in his writing, letter writing, etc. Those days were not computer ages, so anything typed had to be gone through and typo errors had to be, white ink has to be poured and then you write, make the corrections. So, this remaining, having come to know how you can spend your time in the midst of activities also, how you can think of God or Brahman. When it came to me as a question and I asked and I got a reply, I tried to do it. Then one day I was telling Swamiji that You have been telling in so many shlokas and always that we have to find God everywhere. Ekanta bhaktir govinde yat sarvatra tadikshanam. Everywhere God is. But how to understand that? I am seeing so much difference. How do I practice that? Looking at everything, I am not finding God. So I think I was in Swamiji's room. He was sitting in his chair. He says, where are you standing? I said, I'm standing in Swamiji's room. Okay. Where, seeing this chair, what do you feel? I said, this is Swamiji's chair. Then he pointed at something else. I said, that is Swamiji's bookshelf. This is Swamiji's specs. This is Swamiji's pen. Then he showed his toenail. What is this? I said, this is Swamiji's toenail. Then he said, so whatever I have asked, you said it is Swamiji's. See that, like that, seeing everything, you should feel it is God's. What He has created. You understand? Such a simple thing. Such a simple thing. And, I tried to do that. And it's very, very easy to see in the nature. Oh, the flower is made by God. Oh, see, the breeze is coming. See the life. But when it comes to people, it is very difficult. The interaction with people. Then you don't feel that, oh, this is also God. But it has to be done. And it can be done. So my sadhana started life initially through the nature, then looking at the immobile objects, then looking at people, the behavior with them, interaction with them, understanding that everything is from that one source. If somebody's behavior hurt me, maybe it has hurt me. Maybe a drop of tear will be there in the eyes, or the heart will be pained. Or if I have said something harshly to somebody, I understand. Then later I'll feel that, oh, this has gone against my sadhana. So, if you have the identity as, I am a seeker, I want to improve myself, I want to know who am I want to hold on to my changeless real identity where I am not affected, I must do sadhana, and that sadhana is not time-oriented. Most people feel that sadhana is time-oriented. Morning you do sadhana, evening you do sadhana, you chant something, you light a lamp, chant many stotras, and over. The sadhana has to be every moment. Sadhana has to be every moment. Then only the enlightenment and jnana will come. That is why Krishna is giving these qualities. And these qualities, how will these qualities come to you? Through interaction. Amanitvam we did, that we should not have pride. How will you, if you sit quietly in meditation, how will you test yourself whether you are having amanitvam? Amanitvam you can understand whether you have acquired or not only when you are in interaction. And it is such an, I would say it is a very, very interesting sadhana. If you take it that way, it is an interesting sadhana, very loving sadhana. Every time there is a challenge to you. And challenge where it is not a challenge to get a better job, better house, better earnings. It is a challenge to make yourself purer and purer, quieter and quieter, so that you understand who you are. You understand? So, amanitvam adambhitvam will chant. Amanitvam adambhitvam ahimsa kshantirarjavam
ahimsa kshantirarjavam
acharyopasanam shaucham
Acharyopasanam shaucham
स्थैर्यमात्म विनिग्रहः
Sthairyamaatma vinigraha
इन्द्रियार्थेषु वैराग्यम्
Indriyartheshu vairagyam
अनहङ्कार एव च
Anahankara evacha
जन्म मृत्यु जरा व्याधि
Janma mrityu jara vyadhi
दुःख दोषानुदर्शनम्
Dukkha doshanudarshanam
असक्तिरनभिष्वङ्गः
Asaktiranabhishvangaha
पुत्रदार गृहादिषु
Putradara grihadishu
नित्यं च समचित्तत्वम्
Nityam cha samachitatvam
इष्टानिष्टोपपत्तिषु
Ishtanishtopapatishu
मयि चानन्ययोगेन
Mahichananya yogena
भक्तिरव्यभिचारिणी
Bhaktiravyavicharini
विविक्तदेशसेवित्वम्
Vivikta desha sevitvam
अरतिर्जनसंसदि
Aratirjana samsadi
अध्यात्मज्ञाननित्यत्वम्
Adhyatmajnana nityatvam
तत्त्वज्ञानार्थदर्शनम्
Tattvajnanarthadarshanam
एतज्ज्ञानमिति प्रोक्तम्
Etajnanamiti proktam
अज्ञानं यदतोऽन्यथा
Ajnanam yadatonyatha.
So, amanitvam, sublimation of pride, you must practice. Adambhitvam, non-ostentation, that is trying to show that you are very good. Whatever qualities you do not have, still you try to show. You must acquire those qualities. Ahimsa is non-hurting. By thought even, we should not be hating anybody, criticizing anybody, fault find with anybody, and judgmental about anybody. By thought also we should not try to do. Thought, speech, action. And then we did up to this only this. Okay. Then all these three I said, it will be very easy to do or very effortlessly done if we constantly think that I am the self. How will we hurt anybody? If we think that everybody is same, how will we hurt? Just like, how can we get annoyed with anybody else? Just like I gave an example that when we take food, the tongue bites, the teeth bite the tongue, then we don't get annoyed with the teeth. Say, why did you bite? Why did you bite? It is because it is the same. Similarly, if somebody has really hurt you, then the sublimation has to come, thinking that don't take it to heart, don't hate that person, don't become bitter. If anything has to be, rightly told and done, not with hatred, but matter-of-factedly you can say, but also think that this is the self, I am the self. Adambhitvam, amanitvam, all those things, all these qualities, all the source is that dwelling on I am the changeless self, and everywhere the self is the same. Kshanti is tolerance or forgiveness. That also comes from that. So we are not able to forgive. So many things we will remember. This one did this, this one did not allow me to do that when I wanted, and I went through so much of problem. We just keep a baggage. So it says tolerance and forgiveness. Even if somebody is not behaving properly, by situation, people, a person, everywhere, we should have tolerance and forgiveness, excuse. For all this for what? To keep the mind calm, not get agitated. Arjavam, straightforwardness. Straightforwardness in mind, speech, action. That is what you think, you do that only. That is, you're thinking something, not liking a person, but showing lot of sweet words. So, what you feel, what is the truth, to be able to say that. That is straightforwardness. And straightforwardness also is absolutely necessary in spiritual path. And again, I would say, all these, they are things. See, it is saying that at the, okay, first, let me see. I'll go to the end and then I'll come back. Then comes Acharyopasanam. See, it has given Acharyopasanam. What is Acharyopasanam? Adoring and serving the teacher. That you must have a guru. That is, you may listen to lectures. Go on, earlier days we could go and listen to lectures. Now you can listen to many lectures through the screen. So you get the knowledge. But particularly you must have a guru who can guide you, who can see you, who can observe you, and remaining with him or being around him, you can give service to him. If physically you have to be doing some seva, you can do, or you can look after his mission and do the seva in that way. And the best seva is what? Out of whatever you do, the best seva to the Guru is when you assimilate his teachings and you start implementing it in your own life. That is the best seva. And then you also start telling that to others. That is giving solace and peace to others, not even by talking. If you transform yourselves by the message of the Guru, and what does the Guru say? Our scripture says, Shastreshu Guru Vakyeshu Satya Buddhyavadharanam Sa Shraddha Kathita. What is that? We must have Shraddha in the Shastra Vakya. What the Shastras are saying, must have faith in that, and must have the faith in the words of the Guru. Because Guru will be talking only the Shastras. So this faith should be there. So many times it happens that people will be listening, even the Guru's words, you feel that, there is a little difficulty to do this sadhana. Then you'll feel, okay, I will not do this one. I will do whatever the other things the Guru has said. That is not the case. You have to be wholesomely taking the message and follow it. And also, in serving the teacher, what happens is that you understand what are his likes and what are his dislikes. So what happens? We automatically come to understand that what are our constrictions. We always, any human being, we want to do what we like and we want to do what we don't like. But when we come to the Guru, then if we want to progress and really serve him, we have to go by his wishes. What does that do? Ego gets sublimated. It is called ego sublimation or ego effacement. And it always happens when one is in the proximity of the Guru. Ego sublimation takes place if you are open to it. That you observe yourself, you observe the Guru, and you try to serve him in a manner in which he likes. It may not be what you had known. Say, I'll give you a very simple example. We all know how to fix a stamp on a envelope. I don't know, these days so much of stamping is not necessary, but those days. So we have grown up with fixing stamps. So when we came to the ashram, even now, if Swamiji says the stamp has to be fixed at this corner. Suppose this is the envelope. And the stamp should be equal distance from this side, equal distance from this side, and parallel to the two sides. Okay. And earlier days when we would post, which are our magazines or sometimes mass letters, so they all will be working. He'll come and he'll also work. Then he'll go through and then he'll say, this is not all right. So you have to somehow again do it properly. So if you may think in your mind even that what is there? It is only a stamp fixing. Many people say that. It is only a stamp fixing. What is the harm if we fix it a little terra? But by trying to do how the Guru wants, your ego gets sublimated. That ego sublimation, all will not be having the privilege of working with the Guru. But ego sublimation is necessary in the spiritual life. So ego sublimation, then you can take it, extend it to your family. That you also take the opinion of others, always not try to say that what I say is correct. Take suggestions from children, wife, husband, and then take a decision. You understand? So this remaining with the Guru is very, very important. So Acharyopasanam is very well described, that how the Acharya should be served and how one should be there. In this, one is that one thing we must understand, Guru does not want to be served at all. He is okay with everything. We should feel blessed that we have been given the chance of serving him. Say this center. Swamiji says the center is my body. He says the ashram is my body. And those people who are associated, they're keeping the body of the Guru in a very proper manner. So when Guru is coming, he feels happy. He sees everything. He sees the way it is running. And he becomes very happy what he wants to do. Like people are coming, food is given. See, today, suddenly he thought that he heard from somebody that food has fallen short. So he immediately became very anxious. Has food fallen short? What have you done? Etc. So these are his wishes. So these, when you come even to not even close quarters, but you listen to him and listen to some of the things that he's telling about himself and watching him, these things we can always imbibe and act accordingly. So suppose all of you are from the household, what you should feel that when we call people, we should see that sufficient food is there. Everybody will manage and take a little and go. That is not the thing. When we have called somebody, we should very, in a dignified manner, serve everybody and see to it that everybody is pleased. So then we become, what we gain in this? Alertness. So Swamiji was saying, see, you should be alert. When many people came in and the doors were closed, did you have a head count? And if head count was taken, then immediately did you make any arrangement to order more food so that there was no difficulty? By this, what are we learning? We are learning that we have to be attentive. And this attentiveness is very, very important. Yesterday I said humility is very important, this amanitvam. And attentiveness is very important. Unless we are attentive in ourselves, we will miss many things. And Shankaracharya writes that if you are not attentive, you will lose your aim even. You will find that within no time, that is what happens actually. That many people say that after Swamiji goes, after all this is over, when we go back to our families, we just forget everything. Or we are not able to implement. Why? Because the attentiveness falls. Attentiveness should be there to constantly see that am I remaining fixed in my aim. And the aim is such, we don't want to become a fool. Yesterday I told you that if you are fools, you can go. As soon as we have known that this is going to give us a life which is full of unaffectedness and a constant peace and joy, then we must pursue it. So, in Acharyopasana, there is lot of things. Uh, Acharyopasana, Shaucham, cleanliness of body and mind. So, Shaucham means purity. Purity of the body and the mind. So, what is purity? Purity in see, this external purity that can be of the body, dress, house, your surroundings, your habits, all that. But even if you are externally pure, that is clean dress, clean house, everything. What we need is the mental purity. Mentally, whether you are having these spiritual qualities. So the spiritual qualities are very important. So mental qualities, it can be in speech, in see, external purity we can see in like this. Bodily, we can cleanliness of the body, surroundings, etc. Then avoiding laziness, procrastination, lethargy, etc. All that is according to surrounding the body. Then we must develop dexterity, enthusiasm, punctuality, all that. Then speech. No, look at me. There is nothing written there. Speech. In speech also we have to be pure. Avoid unnecessary talk. Just have to always assess yourself how much unnecessarily we talk. Unnecessarily. Avoid unnecessary talk, untruth, harsh and hurting words, criticism, taunting, fault finding, blaming, all these things. Avoid these and cultivate what? Cultivate endearing words, especially speak about spiritual elevation. Bodhayanta parasparam, kathayantascha mam nityam. Yesterday I told a sloka from Bhagavad Gita. That is, you talk in such a manner that each will be elevated by the other. Each will be helped to remember about this knowledge, about the knowledge about God, about self, and not unnecessary talk. Unnecessary talk we are constantly doing about the family, about and there is a habit always that if one person talks about about some incident, there is a great feeling that I also know similar thing happened. So you also start another conversation. Once we told some people that you can sit together, but don't talk to each other. Especially don't talk about one another. After some time, they all were sitting quietly. Because when you sit in a group, constantly this talk about one another will be going on. So if you say that no, you cannot talk about one another, you have to only talk good things, after some time everything stops. Then with family, do whatever is necessary for the family. You should not think that I am spiritual, so I will not do for family. You have to do your duties, you have to take up the responsibilities. But you also must find time for spiritual purpose. Bring up and educate the children, look after parents, look after servants, and wealth and money. Wealth earned truthfully, righteously, should be distributed amongst the poor and needy. This is from the Shastras. In Bhagavatam it says, Gam dugdha doham asatim cha bharyam deham paradhinam asat prajam cha vittam tvatirthi kritam anga vacham hinam maya rakshati dukkha dukhi. Sorrow over sorrow for a man who does not purify wealth by liberal gifts. So, all these things should be kept in mind. Give to those who need it. Then, dhanam cha dharmaika phalam yato vai jnanam sabhijnanam anuprashanti griheshu yunjanti kalevarasya mrityum na pashyanti duranta viryam. And the only purpose of wealth is to enable the way of righteous living, by which one gains knowledge and enlightenment, leading to peace. So, this wealth should not be hoarded for one's children, family, grandchildren even, and not distributed to the society where people are needing it. Then internal purity. What is internal purity? Internal purity can be summarized in removing from the mind desire, possessiveness, clinging, and ego. Work on that. So, this will go, I told you earlier only, by only removing this I-ness and mine-ness, that this is I and all these things are mine, so I remain bound by only this, and do not allow the mind to spread out to others. All this I told you the other day. If you take 2-3 qualities, you will find automatically you are following all. All are related. So just now I said what? The money should be purified by liberal gifts for those who are wanting, those who do not have, for them. But what we do, we'll give gift after gift to our relatives, our cousins, our friends, and very costly gifts, and not go around and give to those who do not have. We must do it. You do it, and you will find so much of joy. That is what we were saying, that our Workers' Day, we have at least that much feeling, to give them a dress which they like. And we take trouble to do it. So, I don't think that we are doing so much. More can be done, but we are giving educational, bags, umbrella, notebooks, pencil box in our panchayat, all the government schools, all those who are poor, below poverty level. It is called below poverty level, BPL. So that now for the last 3 years we are doing so. More and more schools are coming. So you can understand our satsang hall becomes a huge go down. And then to sit and, name-wise, class-wise, make packet, it's a huge work. But everybody, the devotees who are visiting at that time, they get those work to do. So they feel very happy. In Delhi, one year we went and we used to go at night and give woolens. And we decided to give woolens to children and women and men. Because blankets, many people can give. Blanket giving, we understood at that time. We also used to give blankets. That blanket giving is not at all that much troublesome, because you get the load and then you one by one give the blanket. Here you have to match the size. The size matching becomes such a difficulty. And then when we were going, we see a few children, few boys were there. So Swamiji was sitting in the front and one devotee is driving behind him, myself and Namrata, covered by so much of woolens. They have written all the sizes. And then there are few cars with other sizes also. So at one point, I'm just giving one example. So we stopped seeing 4-5 children. So one boy we gave, one of the devotee who was driving, he got down, and then told us, we were never getting out. So told that this number is okay. So somehow we took out that and gave. It was very small for him. Poor thing, his face became this much. Then, so we said, no. And that devotee was saying, go, this size is not there for you. And poor thing, he was so disappointed. And so we told the devotee that, wait, we'll find out. Then we found out one. He wore again. That became too big for him. And is like this. And the lower portion is quite below. So then I called him near the window and told him that doesn't matter. I will fold it for you. You know, we also wear long, long ones. You can wear it for 2 years. So I folded the hand for him, folded here. I said, see, now you're looking nice. So he became very happy. And then said, this small one, can I take it for my brother? You know, we said, yes. So like that, so many incidents happened. So this devotee was telling, I have learned so much by this. Our feeling is that we gave one, it did not fit him, go. But we found that we have taken so much trouble to find out the proper size. And you know, so heart-melting scenes. Old ladies, they are saying, blessing Swamiji, saying that, praying to God, that God give to Swamiji more so that he can give us. Just see, he's not praying that God give me more, give to Swamiji more so that he can come and give us. So these things, I would, when we go to Delhi, I really want to go to the roads and give. It's so much of joy. One boy in the morning when we went, we gave, he's holding the sweater, then showing the t-shirt, and looked at the t-shirt, it's so torn, and it is end of November, beginning of December, very cold, saying that, give me a dress, my dress is very torn, give me a dress. So feeling very sad, but we had no dress to give that day. So all those things, you know, so we can do many things for the poor who need. But anyway, as much as we can do that, Swamiji says one shloka written by Tagore, that when the sun was setting, the sun said, it is time for me to set. Now, I was giving light to the whole world. Now, who will take up my work? Now, the whole world kept quiet like a picture. Nobody wanted to take up the work. There was an earthen lamp. That earthen lamp said, Prabhu, I am very small, but I will try to do whatever I can. You understand? So for all of us, it is like this. We cannot take away the dukkha from everybody, but whatever we can, in our own surroundings, we can do. So, again I come back to Acharya Upasanam Shaucham. I'm just now hurrying up. Shaucham, Sthiryam. Sthiryam is, you know, becoming very, very resolute, which you must all have now. I give blessings to all of you to have Sthiryam. What is the Sthiryam? Have a resolution that whatever we have heard, at least partly, we will practice. Let us have some kind of, resolution in the mind to be doing this practice, not the usual ritual of morning and evening prayers, introspectional practice, and constantly dipping into oneself and reminding oneself that I am the soul, I am changeless, and these are my qualities. So that practice can be done throughout the day. That has to be done. For that, what has to be left? All these unnecessary talks, whatever is unnecessary. And you will find that you have a lot of time, as I said, at least during bath, during dressing up, when you are alone, maybe driving, you can do that. And you will find that once you start doing, many times you will remember it. When you see the nature, when you see something good, even something bad, you will feel that, oh, this is also God's creation. This is also God's creation. Everywhere God is. Where is He not? So from the mind, the hatredness, dislike, fear, all that will go away. Then comes indriyartheshu vairagyam anahankara evacha. Actually, I thought that these two I will take. Indriyartheshu vairagyam asaktiranavishwangaha. I'll take Indriyartheshu Vairagyam. See, why are we not, though we are feeling, maybe when I'm telling you in inspiring you and telling very lovingly, please spend some time in introspection, read the Bhagavad Gita, all that, you may be feeling, yes, my saying, so we'll do. But what happens, our indriyas, the sense organs, they just take us away. And the mind, we don't restrain, we allow the mind to go behind it. So the mind has to be restrained. The mind and the sense organs have to be restrained. And this restraint can also be by the buddhi. God has given us buddhi. So use the buddhi to direct the mind where it should go and where it should not go. And mind is like that. Whoever calls it goes. And it is like the boat in a stormy ocean. If you go in that storm, you will be drowned. So this thing is absolutely necessary, that you train the mind to be the master of the sense organs. Train it, restrain it, restrain the senses. And that then will come the Vairagya. What is Vairagya? Hearing the word Vairagya, you should not feel fearful. Vairagya is to understand the transitoriness of this world. Constantly remembering that what I am running after is transitory. It will not give me eternal happiness. It will be over after some time. That transitoriness should be remembered. So this shloka is there. One Bhartrihari writes, Adityasya gatagatai raharaha samkshiyate jivitam vyaparair bahukarya bhara gurubhi kalo na vijñāyate drishtva janma jara vipatti maranam trasascha notpadyate pītvā mohamayim pramadamadiram unmatta bhutam jagat adityasya gatagatai raharaha. It says that every day we are getting up in the morning and sleeping in the night. And the sun rises in the morning and sets in the evening. So when the sun sets, we say the day is over. Now we will finish up work and sleep off. One day has passed and we also plan for the next day. We never introspect and feel, with the sun rising and setting, what has actually taken place. Adityasya gatagatai raharaha samkshiyate jivitam. The life has gone by one day. We never think of that. The life has gone by one day. We have approached death by one day. Vyaparair bahukarya bhara gurubhihi kalo na vijñāyate. And because we don't introspect, we remain active. We take up this work, that work, and feel very happy having done well, or being appreciated, being qualified, everything. And we do not understand that time is passing away. And what happens? Drishtva janma jara vipatti maranam trasascha notpadyate. Drishtva, seeing janma jara vipatti maranam, that our life is full of these events. What? Janma. Birth will be there. When birth is there, we are very happy. But it may happen that very soon you will find that the child is not a healthy child, or the child dies after some time. Janma, jara, vipatti, maranam. Jara is old age. Old age is sure to come. Vipatti, accidents. Then maranam, inevitable. Trasascha notpadyate. We are seeing it, but we feel that we will not be affected. We will be here, whatever is our condition now, we will be like this only. Trasascha notpadyate. That we do not feel little bit concerned, as if the whole world is intoxicated by ignorance. Intoxicated by ignorance. So, it says that we should constantly remember that this life is transitory and this constantly we suffer because of I-ness and mine-ness, identifying with our body. Remember that our own inner, essential, real identity is changeless. We are unaffected to the core. We are taintless always. So, we should be constantly introspecting and thinking of these qualities. So, these qualities ultimately I'll go through. So, here see, Indriyartheshu Vairagyam, 13.9. So, in all the sensory organs, whatever objects they are attracted to, consider them to be transitory. Anahankaraha, freedom from egoism. Then Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi, Dukkha, Doshanu, Darshanam. Also, the dukkha, that misery that we have from birth, death, and old age, from disease and accidents, all these give us suffering. Remember. So, remember that we suffer because of these. So, we are wanting to reach to that state which is our own identity, where in spite of all this, it's not that these will stop. All will remain, but we will remain unaffected. So we must try to go and get seated there in our unaffected self. You understand? Things will remain just like this. See, so many wars are happening. So many things are going on. What will happen, we don't know. But we should try, as long as our body is there, we should try to be introspective and constantly think that essentially we are unaffected. So we should try to go and sit there in that seat. And you may spend your time a little bit on the transitory things, no doubt. But mostly you should spend your time thinking of the non-transitory, eternal soul which you are. Then asaktihi anavishwangaha putradara grihadishu. The another thing which gives us suffering is our so much of attachment to our children, our family, our property, and all that. We are very much absolutely clinging to that. We cannot get our mind out of it. So what is to be done for that? So it says, Ishta anishta upapattishu nityam cha samachittatvam ishtanishtu ishtopapattishu. So we are attached to this. And what are we fearing constantly? Suppose something happens. Suppose something happens to my children. Suppose something happens to my husband. Suppose something happens to the body, some disease, either mine or my near and dear ones. What will I do? What will I do? Suppose I lose money. Suppose some accident takes place. So this fear is constantly there. Anxiety is constantly there. So developed ishta anishta upapattishu nityam samachittatvam. So with your intelligence, constantly think that these probabilities in the life are there. It may come, but it will go also. Just like delight will always not remain, delight will go, it will give place to dukkha. Dukkha will go, and then again the sukha will come. Things will come. We have to accept and be samachittatvam. That is, mind should be even-mindedness. That mai chananya yogena bhaktir abhyabhicharini. And how will you remain constantly thinking about this? As we have not practiced so far, the mind will go here and there. So start developing ananyata, that it exclusive interest in this thought on God or self. Bhakti. What is bhakti? Bhakti is not going and worshipping in the temple. Bhakti is abhyabhicharini bhakti. Vyabhichari means what? Goes wayward. Has other interests. Vyabhichari. Wife becomes vyabhicharini. That has other interest in other men. So abhyabhicharini is not having interest in anything else. What are your duties you do? But your bhakti should be towards God. Our bhakti is towards the world. That is why we spend more thought, more effort, more work, more get-togethers in worldly life. But we give very little thought to God. If doing the worldly work, see, that is why I was saying that in 3 days, what can we say? But the whole Gita is saying, remaining in the worldly work also, which I am not taking, but it is there. We are active, we have to be in the world, we have to do all work, we have to bring up children, we have to earn, we'll grow old, everything is there. In the midst of that, how you can have abhyabicharini bhakti? That is, slowly, you think that everywhere, in every work, in every place, in every thought, everything is God and God alone. Knowledge, because of our self-seatedness, immediately we can tell ourselves that no, this is not the correct thing. I should not be affected. Both are there in life. So, when one is in activity, all of us are in activity, in the life. And in the midst of what? Objects, people, places, and we are actively interacting. So what happens? He says that Krishna is telling Arjuna that Krishna, do not have likes and dislikes. And restrain your mind, restrain your senses. If you can do that, then you will get prasadam adhigacchati. The mind will become placid, delightful. That delight which comes by itself. It doesn't depend upon anything. And prasade sarva dukkhanam hani rasyopajayate. When that kind of placidity comes in the mind, all the dukkhas will go away from the mind. So are these only to be heard? Huh? These are to be practiced. This is, all these had been practiced, and then only for the benefit of the people over ages, these have been come down. And earlier it is only from mouth to mouth, mouth to mouth. Now we have got printed. And how it will be like this, Naivendriyani vishayeshu niyunta esha naivapa unkta upadarshana lakshanasthaha naiva kriya phalamapi shadavekshate sa swananda sandra rasapana sumatta chittaha Naivendriyani vishayeshu niyunta esha Naivapayunta upadarshana lakshanasthaha Naiva kriya phalamapi shadavekshate sa Swananda sandra rasapana sumatta chittaha. So, remaining in the active life, in the midst of all kinds of objects which are constantly alluring us, and the mind also wanting to follow that, if we do not have likes and dislikes, and if we restrain our mind and senses, we'll have prasada. And we will not feel, when we see so many objects, we'll find that whatever is necessary, only that you will do. You will not constantly feel that I want to have this, I want to have that. And if it comes to you, then also, without any attachment, if anything has to be enjoyed, you will enjoy. And also, whatever activity you are doing, you will not feel that I'm doing this work, so this should be the result. Whatever result comes by my excellent work, we should be able to reconcile with that. And that will give what? That prasada that has been told in the other shloka. It says, Swananda Sandra Rasapana Sumatta Chittaha. Swananda Sandra Rasapana. Swananda. What is Swananda? Swa Ananda. Your own Ananda. Now, our Ananda is, we know that from the objects. This is my own Ananda from my own within. Swananda Sandra Rasapana. And this Ananda is dense, very thick. And it is like a nectar. And you will feel, remaining in this active world, you will feel that you are always filled with that Ananda, as if you have been intoxicated by that Ananda, and still be able to work excellently without getting affected. So, what do you have to tell me? Okay. I'll read the Bhagavad Gita. This particular shloka which I chanted just now, it is from Vivekachudamani. Such beautiful slokas are there. And by Swamiji's grace only, he asked me to learn slokas long back. He used to, I had not yet joined the ashram, he used to send the shlokas written in hand and typed meaning. So I used to learn them. And then after coming to the ashram, so there are a lot of, because I found that, Swamiji also said that sloka chanting, you can chant in your own manner. If you don't have tune, chant in without tune, just read it. But you have to understand the meaning and become that. Say, when you say Swananda Sandra Rasapana, the Swananda, feel it. Feel that there is. And why should you feel it? Because the Shastras are saying it. Have faith in the Shastra. That there is an Ananda inside us, a fountain is there. That Swananda Sandra Rasapana. We can drink that constantly. But we have to give a little time to dip into ourselves. Virachita bhayam vrishnidhuryate charanamiyusham samsriter bhayat karasaroruham pantapamadam karasaroruham kantakamadam shirasi dhehinaha Shri Karagraham Tava Kathamritam Tapta Jivanam Kavibhididitam Kalmashapaham Shravanamangalam Śrīmadbhāgavatam Bhuvi Grinanti te Bhurida jana Tava kathamritam Tapta jivanam Kavibhididitam Kalmashapaham Shravanamangalam Śrīmadbhāgavatam Bhuvi Grinanti te Bhurida jana. Jai Guru, Jai Guru, Jai Guru.